Welcome back to another Spilldrop video. Today, I'm going to show you how to build this base in the brand new RuneScape survival game, Dragonwilds. I've played RuneScape since I was very young, and I was super excited to get invited to the closed alpha test. You may notice that some items in this footage are lacking textures or may look a little bit different from the current release. That's because this was recorded during one of those closed alpha tests, so many things have changed or been updated. However, you should have no trouble recreating a build like this in the current version of the game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into Dragonwilds. Alright, we need to farm a lot more oak. So let's go hit up a couple of spots where we know that there's oak trees nearby. And then we'll go travel to the Fractured Plains where there's a ton of oak trees. Oh, no, stop. Yes. Whew. Alright, so what do we need for the foundations? We're going to start there. Ash plank and oak logs. Then the walls we're going to need ground stone and ground sandstone. So we should grind some stone. Now this is by no means a secure base design or anything particularly fortified, but using these foundation designs and the brickwork that you see here, I wanted to recreate something that looked a little bit more like a hearth. The sort of fireplace that you would find in a fantasy setting. And so I got to work laying out my foundations for this build. God, we're already out of planks. We do the short beam down here, we do the long beam here. Alright, this is going to be storage. Alright, so this is why I put this foundation here, so that it kind of looks like a little fireplace. Yeah, so must not be covered by a roof. Hopefully if we break this wall, like that. Oh, it's still too far back. There we go, okay. That should be just far enough away then. I guess we'll go deposit some of this plank business. Check out the farming we've done. Not too bad. I did build a little bit of an overhang for the cooking range. I've seen some really cool builds in the Discord, which have been giving me so much inspiration. Yeah, I kind of like that better. We'll do a corner staircase. You'll notice that the cross beams on these walls are all kind of aligning or creating this like symmetry. In normal construction, it's good to have your support beams all kind of working towards the same goal. So in this case, these support beams would be supporting the second floor here and tying into the higher structural stability of like the lower levels. So down here, see that would be providing a little bit of support that way. And by kind of mirroring that in the game, it gives it a little bit more realism, in my opinion. Like, it makes the build look a little bit more natural and organic. If you leave the walls all kind of facing the same direction, things can look a little bit cut and paste kind of, and I didn't really like the way that turned out on the first couple of builds that I did. So that's why I spend time kind of rotating the walls to give this effect. I think it just, you know, it looks good. I may actually swap this one here because I think it's kind of there. We'll do that because I think that looks a little bit better and makes a little more sense. Actually, maybe, I want to do something a little bit different here. We're gonna retcon what you see so far. All right, and then of course that means we also need to do stairs going a little higher up. And we're gonna get rid of these floors. I feel like having the extra height on this ceiling is gonna make this build feel so much better. I kinda already like it better. That's good stuff. Now, we're gonna push the next floor even higher than this. I like where we're at here, but I want to do one more level, I think. Nighttime is now coming, so it's going to be impossible to see anything. Alright, let's sleep it off, get a fresh morning, so we can actually see what they're doing. God, I can't believe we haven't gotten raided all day. An entire day chilling out here. I usually get raided 2 or 3 times within a single day if I'm just AFK, so I guess maybe they just don't like it when you go AFK, you know? Maybe that's the issue. This corner is just a little bit awkward, but it is what it is. Plenty of structural stability, that is for sure. Oh yeah, this is coming together already. Alright. I don't think we're going to go any taller than this. Let's do 45 degrees just to give us a proper top floor that we can actually stand up in. On either end. Yeah. Yeah, see, this is why you need to farm up a bajillion oak trees. Demo those two. That fireplace is pretty readable, although I might make it a little bit taller just so that it's a little bit more readable. But otherwise, I do like the way things are looking here. I think this is turning out pretty much the way that I wanted it to. Yeah, I kind of like that. How's it look? Hey, that actually... Yeah. Oh yeah. Now that's pretty great. Peninsula, as a famous Rust player would say. It's a little bit dark, is the only thing. Oh, but isn't she lovely? That's where we're at. We'll come back with some minor updates once I've had some time to kind of make some adjustments. We're going to get some storage, so I'll be back in just a little bit. Welcome back. Made a little bit of progress on the base, just off screen here. I added some touches to it to make it a little bit more cozy, in my opinion. I think I really enjoy how it's turning out so far. There's one thing that I really wanted to show y'all that I just kind of blew my mind because I didn't realize that it was implemented into the game. But check this out. So we're gonna grab some wood here. Check this out. So when you are running sawmills like this, it generates planks, right? But if you put the wood storage thing right at the end, it catches the planks automatically. How cool is that? You can also see that some things have been moved around a little bit out here. So I moved the lodestone, added some of kind of like a porch, I guess you could say. Tucked away the rune altar back there. Got the kiln here. Those are nestled so nicely. I just love the way this turned out. And then inside, we've done quite a bit of decorating, as you can see. Obviously, we got some raw and cooked food stuff up there, consumables, animal products, and some other stuff. Our precious goods. We've got the bank chest up here with an extra spot. I don't know what I'm going to do with this shelf yet, but we'll see what comes to mind. Obviously everything else is kind of squeezed in here wherever it fits, so we got the pottery wheel, which I actually kind of forgot about until just recently, and toss that in there now. Upstairs, obviously, we've got the bedroom, looking good. I kind of cleared out the upper floor a little bit, and maybe we'll do something with this space. I'm not sure what we're going to do with it yet, but as you can see, everything is just a little bit cozier, more comfortable, and a little bit nicer looking. Okay. Let's hope nothing has respawned here to jump us when we arrive. Oh. Bird. You know what? We leave. Goodbye, bird. And down takes us to all of the explodey balloon guys. Here, lots of tin, a loaded area for farming. The other thing that this game desperately needed, which I was finally delighted to discover, is loot hidden behind waterfalls. Like, that's just an absolute necessity. And they had it, dude. They had it. Not a lot of loot, but a little bit. Which, to me, is awesome. Like, you gotta have it. Here we are. We've made it. I believe this is the very end, and you can see there's something glowing in this room. What on earth was bro doing? He started headbanging, dude. Any more of you guys out here? I don't think so. You find a weapon blueprint written in Dwarvish. Perhaps somebody nearby can translate it. Go back over to my boy Doric, and we're gonna see what the word is. Oh, what's that? You found something. Let me take a look at that blueprint for you. Well now, that explains this great hunk of stone. It's the head to a great ruddy weapon. Here, I think I know how to make it now. These sorts of weapons are what an artisan lives for. Enjoy crafting it and then hitting your enemies with it. Alright, nice. So we got the Granite Maul, which is pretty sweet. Okay, what's the situation with the Granite Maul stuff? More Blightwood, silver. Hell yeah. And then we just need one of these. Epic. We now have a Granite Maul, which I believe is a two-handed weapon. Oh yeah. But it's pretty sick. That is a very slow attack, but it, I think, like, just knocks anything back for the most part, which is pretty sick. Having accomplished our goals of building this beautiful base and finally crafting this rare Granite Maul, our adventures in Dragonwilds drew to a close. There are many more adventures that await you, and I can't wait to hear all about them. For now, this has been your friend Spilldrop, and I will catch you in the next video.